Harland Sanders was a man with a white suit and a kind smile. Many people called him the Colonel. He was the face of KFC, a famous fried chicken brand. His story is a story of work, trouble, patience, and hope. It is a story about starting small and growing big. It is a story about falling down many times and getting up again. It is a story that shows that it is never too late to try again. Harland was born in a small place in America. When he was a little boy, his father died. His mother had to work outside the home to feed the family. Harland had to help in the kitchen. He learned to cook simple food for his brother and sister. He learned to fry meat, make bread, and cook vegetables. He was still very young, but he already knew that good food brings calm and joy to a home. He did not have an easy school life. He changed schools many times. He had to work and help his family, so he could not finish school in a normal way. But he kept learning from life. He learned from people. He learned from every job he tried. He drove a farm wagon. He helped on a train. He sold insurance. He worked on boats. He did many things because he needed money to live. Some jobs were fine. Some jobs were hard. Some jobs did not last long. But each job taught him something. Each job showed him how to talk to people, how to be calm in a problem, and how to keep going. As he grew older, he found a place in a small town in Kentucky. He ran a service station for cars. Drivers came to fill their gas tanks. They were often tired and hungry. Harland had an idea. He said, "If I give people good food, they will feel better. Maybe they will come back again." He started to cook in a simple way at first. He made ham, green beans, and biscuits. He served hot coffee. People liked it. They told other drivers about the friendly man who served warm meals with a smile. Soon he began to fry chicken for his guests. He wanted the chicken to be tasty and tender. He tried many mixes of herbs and spices. He wrote notes. He tasted again and again. He was patient. He looked for a flavor that was gentle but special. He kept only what tasted right and removed what did not. After many tries, he created a secret mix. People later called it a mix of 11 herbs and spices. He kept it safe. He did not tell anyone the full list. He knew this taste was his treasure. There was another problem. Frying chicken the old way took a long time. Guests did not like to wait. Harland looked for a better way. He tried to cook chicken faster while keeping the meat juicy. He learned about pressure cookers. He tested times and heat levels. He tested oil and flour. Finally, he found a way to fry chicken quickly and keep the flavor inside. The skin was crisp. The meat was soft. The wait was shorter. The guests were happy. His place became a small restaurant near the road. It had simple chairs and tables. It was clean and warm. People on long trips stopped there. They ate, smiled, and told their friends, "Try the chicken there." The little restaurant got a good name. Reporters wrote about it. Local families came for Sunday lunch. Harland walked from table to table. He talked to guests. He asked about their day. He cared about their feelings. He wanted each person to feel welcome. Years passed, and his restaurant grew. He put a sign outside with his name. He fixed the kitchen. He trained the cooks. He made sure the food was the same each day. He checked the oil. He checked the spices. He watched the plates that went out. If a plate was not perfect, he sent it back to the kitchen. He was strict, but he was fair. He believed that small things matter. He believed that the guest is the most important person in the room. Then a big road was built far from his restaurant. Many cars started to use the new road. Few people passed by the old road now. It was a hard time. The number of guests fell, the money fell, the future looked dark. Harland was no longer young. Many people would stop there and say, "It is time to rest." But he did not give up. He sat down and thought. He asked, "What do I still have?" He still had his recipe. He still had his way with people. He still had his dream. He had a new idea. He would not wait for people to come to him. He would go to them. He put his spice mix into small bags. He packed his pressure cooker into his car. He drove from town to town. He went to small restaurants and diners. He asked the owners to taste his chicken. He said, "Let me cook for you. If you like it, we can work together." He cooked in their kitchens. He let them taste the hot chicken and the crispy skin. Many owners smiled. They said, "This is good. Our guests will like this." A few owners said no. He thanked them and drove to the next town. He did not stop. He kept going. Little by little, he made deals with the owners. He told them, "You can use my recipe and my method. You will pay me a small amount for each chicken you sell." This was the start of his franchise plan. It was a simple plan, but it was new for that time. It allowed many small places to sell the same kind of chicken. It allowed the brand to grow without one big building in one place. The taste was the same across many towns. People began to know the name. One of the first partners had a busy restaurant in the West. This partner helped create a special meal with chicken pieces in a bucket. Families could take it home and share it at the table. The idea was smart. It was easy to carry. It felt fun. Children liked it. The brand grew faster. The bucket and the smiling face of the colonel became a sign of good food and friendly service. Harland was not a young man during this time. He was already older than many new business people. But he had energy. He had a neat white suit and a black string tie. He kept his hair and beard white and clean. He looked special, like a gentleman from another time. People remembered his face. He became the human symbol of the brand. When he spoke on the radio or on television, people listened. His voice was warm. He talked about honest cooking and care. He said, "Food should be made with attention and respect." The franchise number grew across states and across borders. Workers were trained to follow the same steps. The kitchen tools were set in the same way. The oil was changed on a schedule. The spice mix was measured with care. The cooking times were written down and followed. These rules were not for control only. They were for quality. They protected the trust of guests. At some point, the brand was so big that other people wanted to invest and help it grow more. Harland made a large business deal. The brand would now have more money to open in new places. He would not manage every part of the company anymore, but he would still be the face of the brand. He would still visit stores. He would still talk to guests. He would still show the white suit and the warm smile. The world loved the colonel because he looked like a friend who knew how to cook. The growth continued. New countries learned about the chicken. New menus were made to fit local tastes, but the heart of the brand stayed the same. Crispy chicken with a special flavor, served with kindness and speed. Families stopped by after school events. Groups of friends met there after work. Travelers ate there on long trips. The red and white colors, the bucket and the face of the colonel became signs that felt familiar and safe. Not every day was easy. There were changes in the business world. There were times when costs went up. There were times when the competition was strong. There were times when the brand had to update kitchens and processes. There were even times when the taste needed to be checked and corrected. In those moments, people asked, what would the Colonel do? The answer was simple. Go back to the basics, care about the guest, and protect the flavour that made people smile. Harland also visited many stores as an ambassador. He shook hands. He took photos. He told stories to young cooks. He said, do your best. Clean your tools. Watch the little things. A small mistake can change the taste. A small effort can make a big difference. He believed in pride at work. He believed that respect for the guest starts in the kitchen. People often asked him about age and success. He laughed and said, it is never too late. He became a symbol of late success. He showed that a life with many jobs and many failures can still lead to something great. He showed that mistakes are teachers. He showed that pain can become wisdom if we keep going. He showed that a person can start again at any age with a clear idea, hard work, and honest service. The Colonel's story also teaches about brand and trust. A brand is not only a logo or a colour. A brand is a promise. It is a promise that the taste will be the same in each store. It is a promise that the staff will be kind. It is a promise that the food will be hot and fresh. It is a promise that the place will be clean. When a brand keeps these promises, people come back again and again. There is also a lesson about listening. Harland listened to his guests. He watched their faces when they ate. He asked questions. He was curious. He changed the details when something did not work. He respected feedback. He never said, I know everything. He said, I am still learning. This attitude helped him grow a small kitchen into a world brand. Another lesson is about patience. The recipe did not appear in one day. It took many tries. The pressure method did not work at first. He had to test and test. The franchise plan did not grow at once. He had to drive many miles, knock on many doors, and hear many no answers. He did not stop. He kept moving. Patience is not slow. Patience is steady. Patience is power. There is also a lesson about care. He cared about the food. He cared about the guests. He cared about his team. He cared about the little details. Care is a feeling, but it is also an action. Care is seen in clean floors, in fresh oil, in a warm greeting, in a correct order, and in a thank you at the end. Care is the secret spice in every good business. As the brand became famous, many people wore the uniform and learned the steps. They learned how to season, how to bread, how to fry, and how to pack. They learned how to smile at the counter. They learned how to say, welcome in, and have a nice day. They learned how to fix a mistake quickly. They learned how to work as a team. These jobs gave young people their first work skills. They learned to be on time. They learned to be neat. They learned to speak clearly. They learned to count and plan. A fast food kitchen can be a school for life. With time, the Colonel grew old, but his image stayed active. Even when he could not travel as much, his story travelled. It travelled on television, on posters, on signs, and in the happy memories of guests. Children saw his face and felt safe. Parents saw his face and remembered their own young days. The brand became part of family times, road trips, and busy evenings when a quick meal was needed. We can also learn from the way he solved problems. When the new road took away his guests, he did not sit and complain. He looked for another way. He saw that his recipe was the strong point. He saw that many small restaurants could cook his food if they had the right tools and steps. He turned a loss into a plan. This is a strong idea for any person. When a door closes, look for a window. If you cannot find a window, build a small door. Keep moving. We can learn from his clear look and simple style. The white suit made him easy to see and easy to remember. It was clean and bright. It said, "I am careful." It said, "I respect you." A simple, honest style can be more powerful than many bright words. It can show that you take your work seriously. We can learn from his voice. He did not shout. He spoke in a friendly way. He did not promise the moon. He promised good chicken. He kept that promise. Trust grows when words match actions. This is true at a dinner table. This is true in a small shop. This is true in a big company. Say what you will do, then do it. Then do it again tomorrow. We can learn from his way with change. As times changed, kitchens changed too. There were new rules for safety. There were new machines. There were new tastes in new countries. The brand had to adapt. But the core stayed strong. The core was flavor, heat, speed, and care. If the core is strong, new parts can move around it without breaking it. This is a good lesson for all kinds of work. The Colonel's life also shows how to use help. He did not try to do everything alone. He had partners. He had managers, he had cooks and cashiers, he had trainers and cleaners. Each person had a part. When each part is done well, the whole place works smoothly. A team is like a kitchen. Each tool has a job, and all the tools together make the meal. There's a lesson about honesty too. He was proud of his food. He believed it was good because it was made with rules and care. He did not pretend. He did not try to trick guests. He let the taste speak. He was honest about what he sold. People can feel honesty. It is quiet but strong. There is a lesson about courage. It takes courage to start something new at an older age. It takes courage to drive from town to town and ask for a chance. It takes courage to keep trying when you hear no many times. Courage is not the loud noise in the room. Courage is the quiet step you take after a hard day. We can also think about the home side of his story. He learned to cook as a child because he had to help at home. Later, his chicken brought many families together at dinner tables. Food has this power. It brings people to one place. It gives rest. It gives time to talk. It gives comfort after a long day. The success of his brand is not only about money or growth. It is also about simple human moments, a warm meal, a shared laugh, and a full heart. The Colonel passed away many years ago, but his image remains. His face still smiles from signs around the world. New cooks still learn the steps. New guests still enjoy the taste. New families still carry home a bucket to share. The story continues because the idea is simple and strong. Make good food, treat people well, and never give up on a good dream. Today, when someone opens a KFC box, they smell the warm spices. They feel the heat on their hands. They hear the crunch when they take a bite. They taste the mix of herbs and salt. For a moment, they are part of a long chain that starts in a small kitchen many years ago. This long chain was built by a man who refused to stop trying. It was built by a man who learned from failure. It was built by a man who found a way to turn care into flavour, and flavour into a brand, and a brand into a home for many workers and a joy for many guests. If you are a young person who is just starting to work, the Colonel's story can give you hope. You may not have perfect grades, you may not have a lot of money, you may not know your path yet, but you can learn from each job. You can watch and listen. You can be kind. You can be careful. You can keep your word. You can try again after a mistake. If you do these things, your life can grow in a good way. If you are older and think it is too late, the Colonel's story can also give you hope. He found his big success when he was not young. He showed that life can surprise us. He showed that a good idea can bloom at any time. He showed that a clear recipe and a clear mind can go a long way when tied to hard work. If you are building a small business, his story can guide you. Keep the place clean. Train your team. Write down the steps. Check the quality. Talk to guests. Fix problems fast. Be proud of your work. Protect the taste of your product. Whatever that taste is in your field, do not rush to change the core, but do not fear new tools that help you keep the core strong. If you are a guest at a fast food place, his story can help you see the work behind the counter. You can see the hands that prepare your meal. You can see the training and care. You can see the many small actions that bring your food to the table. A kind word to the staff is also part of the meal. A thank you can be the spice that makes the day better for everyone. The success of KFC did not happen in one jump. It came step by step. It came with a child learning to cook because he had to. It came with a cook trying spices again and again. It came with a man in a white suit driving long miles to ask for a chance. It came with many hands working together to keep the flavour the same. It came with respect for the guest and for the craft. We often look at a big company and only see the big signs. We forget the small kitchen where it started. We forget the long nights and the careful notes. We forget the days when it was hard to pay the bills. The Colonel's story helps us remember. It helps us see that every big tree was once a small seed. It helps us remember that care is the water that helps the seed grow. In the end, what is the secret? The secret is not only a list of spices. The secret is character. It is patience, courage, honesty, and care. It is respect for food and respect for people. It is the will to keep going when life is quiet and when life is loud. It is the smile you give a guest. It is the clean apron you wear. It is the rule you follow even when no one is looking. These things make a brand strong, and they make a life strong too. So when you see the white suit and the black string tie, you can think of more than chicken. You can think of a path that moved through hard times and found a way. You can think of a person who used simple tools to make something beautiful. You can think of a promise kept, one hot meal at a time. And you can remember that success is not only about speed, it is about steady steps in the same good direction. This is the story of the KFC founder, told in simple words for a simple truth. Never give up on a good idea. Keep your promise to people and let care be the spice that gives life its best taste.